bass. My DJ, yo, get on the case.
This is the 6th of February, 2013.
A Wednesday.
A Wednesday. I'm on a Skype call with Patrick. We couldn't sort of meet today, but his presence is still very valuable.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're on a Skype call, so he'll talk when he needs to say something, and I'll talk when I need to say something. Alright, so the presentation was on Tuesday and Wednesday. On Tuesday, it was for the parents mainly, and some teachers, and some other students were also there. And on Wednesday morning, our supervisor came around to our stand, and there were a lot of 9th graders and a lot of 11th graders, as well as other students. Some 8th graders were there as well. So pretty much on Tuesday, I set up the stall, and we were deciding what we should put, and on the Monday before, I had prepared what I needed to make a Döner burger on Tuesday. So I brought that to school, and I figured, even though we couldn't give out samples because it was too inconvenient to make a lot of Döner burgers, enough for people to taste without the right apparatus, which would be a proper full-size Döner machine. We did kind of want to have people be able to see what one looked like in reality. Most of what people asked is, does it really look like it does on the picture? How did you make it look so good? And things like that. And we just wanted people to see
and
what
many
was in it.
questions were also about the machine we had used, which was slightly irrelevant, as it was only a prop in our advertisement. But lots of people asked if it actually works, which was slightly silly.
I also decided I had the machine in my locker, so I decided to bring it. It was kind of large and flashy compared to the other things we had made. And I don't know, I figured it would sort of generate the opposite effect, that people would sort of be like, oh, that's what the machine in the advertisement looked like. But instead of like answering questions, it generated them. So like Patrick said, people asked us if it worked and stuff. And and it was actually just a prop. So yeah. Also that day, Patrick was not in school. So I don't know. We were unable to print the box on card because we went to a print shop the day before, and we talked to them. We talked to them over the phone a few days in advance, and we asked them if they could print our box on thick card, not fully thick, but thick enough that it would sort of resemble a box like one would find at a burger joint.
200-gram paper, to be exact.
Yep, 200-gram paper, which is quite thick. And it would allow us to make it into a box quite easily. And also the burger picture, they wanted to blow it up to a size, I think, A2. And they also had some pretty nifty color corrections that made it look good, which we appreciated. But then when we went there on Monday, and when I went to pick it up 2 hours later, they didn't actually have either of the things ready, and they just said, yeah, well, we couldn't do it, and we're really sorry, and it was just a really big pain. So we on the Tuesday, I had to print the box and the picture on A3, and the picture was therefore in worse quality than we had hoped, and the color correction wasn't there.
And only on really thin paper.
And it was only on really thin paper, so we had to stick it onto the table. We actually wanted to stand it up. And also and we sort of wanted it to be more like a poster card, like you would see in the menu at a burger place up at the top over the counter, but we couldn't do that either because it wasn't in card. And the box we couldn't make either because I would have had to back it with the cardboard, but we had actually depended on the people being able to print it, so I was unable to do that. I didn't have enough time in lunch, next to printing out all the stuff I already had to print for the presentation as well as my report. So we had our net for the box, and that made it slightly less impressive. Not that many people paid attention to it. which was fine, but it was just kind of disappointing, I guess, to see that our work wasn't being regarded as much as it could be. So yeah, on Tuesday, there were mainly parents and Patrick, would you agree that I think they asked better questions than the 9th and the 11th graders?
Yeah, and they were a lot, like, their feedback was a lot more helpful and valuable, as they actually told us what was good, what was bad, how we could improve ourselves, which is fair enough, as they are all, or like lots of them are experienced businessmen or managers, and therefore have a more
I don't know, not respectable,
no, but
valid
like
opinion.
A more serious opinion, a helpful opinion, because they know what they're talking about, rather than like 9th or 8th graders who know less about this subject than we do.
Yeah,
so the feedback was definitely more helpful from the parents, and also, like, I won't say stupid, but like irrelevant questions weren't asked from the students, from the parents. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing about the 9th graders was that they were sort of more interested in finding out what they could do for their personal project, and they were looking at ideas for themselves. So they were less concerned with giving us feedback so much as seeing what we had done and trying to come up with their own idea. So we got some questions like, I don't know, if it was worthwhile to make a business plan instead of, I don't know, what other people did, such as, I mean, many people made cookbooks and stuff, and if it was rewarding, and seeing as though we came into contact with all these different skills, and we sort of expanded our horizon compared to people who just did Photoshop or just did video editing or just did one thing. I think it was great that we explored so many different areas of marketing and business, and it was just such a broad range that it was more useful to us.
Yeah, and we therefore learned a lot more than someone who just did one specific topic.
We didn't go into as much depth as other people, but I don't know, sometimes some people prefer depth in one subject over a broader knowledge in many, but I don't know, both are useful. I just figured, I find that this was quite rewarding, and if I were to do something, or if I had done something more specific, I may think differently about this. But I'm quite content with the way things turned out, as opposed to doing a single skill, a single thing, and then, I don't know, focusing on it and doing a very specific task the entire time. Yeah, I think, what did we get the most feedback on? What impressed people the most?
That was definitely the advertisement. Lots of people thought it was very amusing, and even the parents, even though some of our jokes were, I don't know, a bit more for people in our age. As we had said in one of our first process journals, this burger should apply to people at our age. That's why our questionnaire was also handed out to people at our age. And we also applied that while creating our advertisement, as it should bring people around 15, 16 to buy our burger. And they like amusing advertisements, and we thought that would be a very important aspect of it. We tried to include that, and our feedback from these people, from all the students, was that it was a very good film. It portrayed the burger nicely, and all the questions, like, often people came to us and there was a large crowd in front of our stand, and we're just like, watch the video, and then all the questions were answered, as the advertisement does cover nearly all of our areas, as it has.
Yeah, it covers our concept pretty well. It sort of describes what we were intending to do. When we told them, we decided to combine elements of a burger and a döner into one supreme fast food that had the best of both worlds, people didn't really understand I don't know. It's hard to convey what we were thinking at the beginning of the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, but I feel, and I think Mark feels the same way, that our advertisement does convey our thoughts and our opinion on fast food, and how we believe that a mixture of a doner and a burger, the perfect fast food, was created through this. I don't know, do you think that our specification was that we succeeded?
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about how our specifications matched up to
then we can
our
do
final
that
product. So, pretty much, I think we stayed very close to our specifications. We tried to do things in a way such that it would meet our specifications while we were doing it. And that was quite useful. Rather than just doing what we thought was best and then seeing if it met the specifications, we used them as a guideline as well. So for our fast food product, we definitely, like Patrick already said, meet the specifications. We had a finished edible product, which we sadly didn't get to show on Wednesday because the meat I had prepared on the Tuesday, I don't know, it just smelled kind of funny, and it was, I don't know, I just didn't really want to bring it to school the way it was. It would bring a bad, I don't know, it was a bad example of what our product should be, and it would have brought negative attention to it if it smelled funny or it looked funny. So I just decided that we wouldn't have one, but we would show a few more pictures of our product in a slideshow, which we then did. So, yeah, for our first project, our main Dönerberg, we definitely did meet the specifications, and I think for other things we did as well. I already mentioned in the Photoshop video where I talked about the box and the logo, how we had not changed the specifications very much, and how I was working on it. I did look at them, so I think we met all of our specifications there. Also through our research, we wanted to, I don't know, make our logo convey our company, and it did. It was made of two parts, sort of representing the two foods we were bringing together and stuff like that.
We also, sorry to interrupt, but we also received a lot of positive feedback from that, as the logo was displayed at the end of the advertisement, and it looked like, in my opinion, it looked really professional. It's like the music started to fade, and then you saw like our logo just appearing, and I believe 8th grader or something, he asked me if if we actually did this ourselves, if this was our film and we took the burger ourselves and we created the logo ourselves. And he didn't really want to believe me that we made this all by ourselves, which is just kind of proving the point that our project has kind of become what we wanted it to become, as far as becoming a
professional or semi-professional,
or at least partially professional product, as well as company with advertisement and everything. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So our presentation in conclusion did go very well. We got a lot of great feedback from the parents. We did get some critique. I don't know. Some people were a little bit also, just like we were, disappointed that the box wasn't built, and they were asking if it would work if we would build the net, and I said yeah. Yeah, overall I think we're most proud of the advertisement. People gave us the best feedback on that. It was also, I think, the most time-consuming thing to make, as we had to film it, edit it, find music, find sound effects. We had to ask people to help us with special effects and the voiceover and stuff like that. So it shows how, like, in a team, how people would work in a marketing department with all these different aspects coming together. Something great can come out of it. As the logo and the box were, one of us was always working alone because it was hard to do it together. It was actually impossible to do it together. at the same time, it did turn out better when we were working together on something, and the different ideas and the different people's opinions coming together did create a better product than when one of us was just working on it. So I think it was very valuable that we worked in a group. It was the products we did as a group were better.
And we also motivated each other, which I believe if we were to have done this personal project by ourselves, then firstly we could not have done as much, and secondly, like if I was really lazy or if Mark were really lazy, then he'd motivate me or I'd motivate him, and therefore because like I have to rely on him and he has to rely on me for this project to work, and it like made us work, I guess.
Yeah, one could say that. Yeah, so sort of all in all, working as a team was great. We got great feedback. Everything turned out all right. All of our products were, at least to our satisfaction, and to a lot of our people who looked at our things' satisfaction. We achieved almost all of our specifications while modifying just a few of them. And our modifications, I would say, were neutral. We didn't make the project any easier for us. I mean, some people, once they realized that they weren't going to achieve their project, they made their specifications easier in order to be able to achieve them. But ours didn't necessarily get any easier. They just got different, so our advertisement changed from a 30 to a 1 minute and 30-second advertisement, which, I don't know, one could say it's harder to make a 30-second advertisement, but one could also argue that it's harder to make a 1 minute and 30-second advertisement. So I'd say it's quite neutral in that regard. Yeah, and we learned a lot about different techniques and stuff, and our feedback, I've said that already, our feedback was good, so I think we're quite content with our project. Our decision-making process, how, I don't know, we sat together and we were like, alright, what is better for our project? We did this with a logo. Took us quite a long time to decide whether to make it the long base B or to hook it up so that it would fit into the circle better. But I guess we're happy with all of the decisions we made, such as using chicken in the burger, using red as our background color on our logo and our box, making the advertisement longer. All of these decisions, I would say, for the most part, had a positive effect on our project, and our decision-making skills greatly increased. At the beginning, we would always ponder, like, I don't know what we should do, but towards the end, we were quite focused, and we made our decisions with justifications and stuff, so, yeah, our decision-making skills improved quite a bit as well. Anything you'd like to add, Patrick?
I don't know, I guess we already talked about the feedback, but I just like to say how a parent, like, this was my favorite comment. He wrote on our reply sheet, 3 Döner burgers, a Coke, and large fries, please. And, like, I just thought that was really amusing, and I don't know, it also showed how well, as we already said often enough now, our project was successful, I guess we could say that.
Getting people to want to buy our product is all we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And everybody said, can I try one? Do you have any samples? And it was really disappointing to have to say no, simply because we don't have the machinery required, like the large industrial-sized Döner spits and stuff. But just this desire to have one that almost everybody expressed when coming to our stand was just what we were doing, and just people asking us to have one confirmed what we were doing and showed us that all of our techniques and stuff had been effective.
Yeah, and I just really liked how our product was something different.
We did a very unique product.
I mean, like 4 or 5 people made a cookbook. A few people built cars or something, like
computers.
Computers. I mean, like toy cars, not like proper cars.
Model cars. Yeah.
Yeah, model cars. But we, like, I don't know. some people did something with food, but no one like really made their own company with advertisement logo and everything. So we were something unique, and I think people also appreciated having like someone who did something risk-taking, being a open mind.
Just go through the IB learner requirements and check everything off.
No, it was like, I guess you could say it was quite risk-taking, as if we wouldn't have been motivated for this product, it would have been an extreme failure.
Concluding statement. Just from the not like motivation wise or anything, we've discussed that, but just from the amount of work we did, it was definitely a two-man job. Just the box and the logo could have almost been a personal project on their own for one person alone. They were really time consuming, and a lot of thought went into that, so this was definitely a two-man job, and yeah, working as a group was a must.
Ready for the bass? My DJ, yo, get on the case.
Yo.